I don't like easy races. I hate them. I don't like going to the small races, the Florida relays.
While the world hangs onto every word Noah Lyles says, painting him as the lone genius meticulously studying tape, breaking down his opponents, and exposing flaws like a professor in a track and field masterclass. There's a dangerous narrative quietly brewing beneath the surface, one that assumes the Jamaicans are just winging it, relying on raw talent without strategy. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The silence from athletes like Kishane Thompson and Oblique Seville isn't ignorance, it's calculation. Behind every stoic interview and every mysterious training session lies a deeper story. One of obsession, of scouting, of microscopic preparation. The real question isn't whether Noah Lyles is studying them, it's whether the world realizes they're studying him just as much, if not more. And if you think Glen Mills, the man who crafted Usain Bolt's dominance, is just letting his athletes coast through, you're in for a rude awakening. Because what's coming isn't just fast, it's tactical warfare on the track.
World champion of what? The United States?
Who would have known that that would be the thing that got so many new people into say, oh, I'm going to watch this 100 meters.
Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times. But that ain't the world.
In an era where athletes go viral for trash talk and TikTok dances, Kishane Thompson and Oblique Seville are throwing it back to the old school days. Speak less, do more. While others parade their training methods and post cryptic messages hinting at rivalries, these two Jamaicans have been sharpening their weapons in silence. But don't confuse quiet for complacency. Oblique is coming off a stunning win in London, where he obliterated the field by capitalizing on Noah Lyles' weak start. That was no fluke. It was a blueprint in motion. Meanwhile, Kishane, under the legendary eye of Glen Mills, is fine-tuning his transition phase, determined to turn every race into a flawless execution of biomechanics. Together, they represent the most calculated risk to American sprint supremacy. And the scariest part? We haven't even seen their final forms yet. They're not talking because they're planning. They're not posting because they're perfecting. And when they strike, it won't be subtle, it'll be seismic. Noah Lyles has made headlines for his self-proclaimed student of the game approach, watching tape, studying mechanics, identifying weaknesses. And while it's commendable, it's also laughably one-sided to assume he's the only one putting in the homework. The idea that Jamaican sprinters like Kishane or Oblique are just running off vibes is pure fiction. In fact, the exact opposite is true. Remember that viral clip of Kishane rewatching his Paris 100 meter on the big screen, analyzing every phase? That wasn't for social media clout. That was film study in real time. And Oblique? You think he flew out of the blocks in London by accident? No. That was after hours of breaking down Lyles' tendencies. The difference? They're not shouting it. They're not turning preparation into a PR campaign. They're keeping it in-house, old school, disciplined. Because real students of the sport don't need to announce the test. They just show up and pass with flying colors. And come world champs, the grades will be undeniable. Critics love to dissect Kishane Thompson's mid-race struggles, pointing out that he fades slightly in the final 30 meters and tightens up under pressure. But here's the kicker. They're not uncovering some deep secret. Kishane already knows. That's the part people don't get. The very flaws they laugh at online are the same ones being tackled in training, over and over again. Every race replay is slowed down, analyzed frame by frame. His team measures the milliseconds between stride transitions, counts the number of steps to reach top speed, even breaks down how his arm swing affects ground contact. It's not guesswork, it's science. Glen Mills and his camp have been crafting solutions behind the scenes, and Kishane himself has acknowledged the work, saying his biggest challenge isn't dipping at the line but mastering the phases of the race. That's what he nailed in Paris, and if he locks it in again, the fade disappears. When athletes embrace their flaws, they don't stay flaws for long, they become weapons. You can't talk about Jamaican sprinting without bowing your head to Glen Mills, the architect behind Usain Bolt's domination. And yet the disrespect is real. Some actually believe Mills is just letting his current athletes wing it, as if a man who spent decades perfecting biomechanics suddenly forgot how to prepare champions. That's ridiculous. This is the same coach who sits for hours dissecting video, applying sports science, and building custom training regimens for each athlete. Every workout is backed by data. Arm angles, stride frequency, even software that calculates optimal step count in a 100-meter sprint. Mills isn't running a casual camp. He's engineering explosive excellence. So when people question whether Oblique or Kishane are strategizing, it's almost insulting. This is a man who once built a global sprint empire out of nothing but raw talent and terrifying precision. Now he's doing it again, only this time it's silent. It's surgical, and it's already working. When Oblique Seville stepped onto the track in London and exploded out of the blocks like a cannon, it wasn't instinct, it was design. He knew exactly what he was doing. He exploited the one weakness Noah Lyles has been carrying for years: his slow start. And instead of giving Lyles room to recover, Oblique held top speed so ruthlessly that the race was already over by the 80-meter mark. That win wasn't just a personal victory, it was a message. Jamaicans aren't just running to qualify anymore. They're crafting surgical takedowns. Oblique didn't just race, he executed a plan, a trap set weeks in advance, born from relentless tape study and a ruthless will to win. And if that's what he's doing in a Diamond League meet, imagine what's coming when the stakes are highest. If you think London was a fluke, you're missing the bigger picture. It was a case study. Exhibit A in how to break Lyles' rhythm and rewrite the outcome. Here's the bottom line. If you believe the Jamaicans are just showing up and running without any plan, you're already 10 steps behind. This isn't the early 2000s anymore. This is a new era of hyper-analyzed, data-driven, mentally trained sprinting. Athletes like Kishane and Oblique are watching tape, identifying opponent tendencies, fine-tuning their phases, and learning from every mistake, quietly. Scouting in track and field may not be as publicized as in football or basketball, but it's happening. Coaches and athletes sit down, review races in slow motion, track biomechanics, and adjust like pros. The difference is they don't post about it, and that's what makes them dangerous. Because while the world fixates on Noah's Instagram stories or press conferences, Jamaica is building its comeback in the shadows. So don't be surprised when the World Championships erupt in chaos, because the silent ones are often the most prepared. And this time the silence is loud. If you're enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comments.